How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do something a little different, or cover something a little different. It's diecast related, but it was super fun. It's actually, well, we'll get to that in just a second. Again, welcome back to the channel, everybody. So glad each and every single one of you could be here. Man, I along with 37 other diecast channels and diecast customizers were involved in something really cool and really great. And the cool thing about it is there's only one first. And I busted my butt to get it done. Froze my butt off, as a matter of fact, to get it done. And we'll get to that in a second. But anyhow, what it was is JDC's Pink Slip Invitational, or Jay's Diecast Creation. That's what JDC stands for. And what we all did, we took and made a custom, we sent it to him, and we had a race. But it was a little more involved than that, and we're going to cover it all. But any footage that I show you belongs to Jay. It belongs to Jay's Diecast Creations channel. It's all his, copyrighted. It's his footage. I contacted him and asked him if it was okay if I used it, and he said sure, just let everybody know that it's his footage, which, I mean, you got to do that. So, and by all means, that's just respectful. He put forth the effort, he put forth the time, he recorded it, he edited it, he put it all together. It was his baby, and yeah, the footage that I'm going to use belongs to him. But I'm going to show you how it worked. I'm going to show you my races, and you need to be sure to check out the other customizers' channels that I will put in here, because just because you watch my channel don't mean you watch theirs. Just because you watch theirs don't mean you watch mine. So it's kind of a networking deal too, which made it really great. It put a lot of names out there that you might not hear. So I'm gonna have Jay's channel in there, plus the actual channels that I raced. It'll all be in the description box below. Just click on it and go right to it, see what they do, what they're about, their great work and everything. Jay is one of those guys that does a lot of Gasland builds. Really talented guy, really cool guy, really nice guy. But with that said, here's how it works, or how it worked. And if you're interested in, get ready for next year. Go ahead and decide what you want to build, how you want to build it, all that, because hopefully it'll be bigger and better. Everybody's welcome, except right now it's only for the United States. He's trying to figure out how to get international builders in on it, but right now, because of shipping costs and everything, it's only going to be United States. But what you did, or the very first rule was, you had to build a custom. Didn't have to be anything extravagant, but it couldn't be something like, just taking a car and just swapping the wheels and sending it to him, right? No, it had to be a little bit more involved than that, because, and this was what he called tech inspection. So what you had to do was you had to take, and I know I'm talking a little fast, I'll slow down here in a minute. You had to take photos of your car and send it in, and he would have to look at it and see if it met the standards. In other words, and I'm just going to be blunt about it, there's a lot of talented builders that were involved in this. So you didn't want a talented builder possibly losing his car to something like, let me get this. Somebody just took this, put some different wheels on it and sent it in. I mean, this was worn, it's played, and you didn't want somebody to send that in, possibly win the whole thing, where somebody might have put in a week or two building their car. So, if it passed the inspection, then he would tell you, go ahead and send it in, and you would send in $5 to help cover shipping costs. Now, really, it won't cover shipping costs, because one car normally costs a little bit more than that. But, Jay's got that worked out. He's going to take care of the difference and everything. But with that stated, that's the gist of how you got your car to him, okay? And after that, it's a whole different ball game. But here's what I had to do for my car. I actually have a portable airbrush booth, right, that I bought so that I could paint inside the house during the wintertime. Well, for those that don't know, I have a cat named Cooper. And at the time, I had a whole bunch of chemicals for stripping, painting, priming, all that stuff, you know, cleaning the chrome off of plastic bases. I had it all in here. And I also did a few cars that I sprayed in here. Well, poor little buddy started breaking out. He started scratching. So I took all the chemicals out to my storage building, and that jerk was full. But anyhow, I took it all out there. Everything started getting better because I'm trying to figure out what caused that. Well, one day I decided just to see. I sprayed another car. Well, he started breaking out again. So I don't know if it was the paint I was using or if it was the actual chemicals. But don't want nothing happening to him. I'd rather never paint another car again than have anything happen to him. So, long story short, middle winter time, the only way I decided to send in a car, I decided to do a car, and Gary Shorter from Shorter's Diecast actually pushed me to do this. I wasn't going to do it because I was in the midst of trying to work out other cars. I couldn't paint inside, you know, winter weather, a lot of excuses. But Gary pushed me, so I said, okay, I'll do one. So I picked a casting, stripped it down, tried to wait for the weather to break, and I knew I had a set deadline. You had to have your cars in by a certain date. And I had literally a week to get it done. So I set up a heater out in my storage building, went out there, set up my paint booth, and the night before that it had snowed. Yeah, it had snowed. It was like, oh God, I think it was 34 degrees outside when I was painting in the building. And in the building it was a lot colder than that. The heat just would not heat the building because, you know, the building's got vents and stuff in it. So what I did was, it gave me cover from the weather, but it was still cold. So I set the heater up on the bench, my work area, and had it blowing on just the cars and the area where I was painting, so everything right there would stay warm. So I got it done, sent him the pictures, he approved it, sent him my $5, sent him the car, and here's what I sent him, and here's my entry.
Welcome back, JDC family. My name is Jay. This is my Diecast Creations channel, and today we got another entry into the Pink Slips Invitational event. Guys, we are at entry number 27, and this thing is sweet. This thing is super sweet, super duper sweet. I want to keep it for myself. I want to keep it for myself. The quarter mile coupe.
And the reason I'm talking fast is because I'm going to actually play my races so you can see how it went down, so you can see how my car did and all that stuff. It's really, really cool, really, really fun. But again, all that footage belongs to Jay, and I'll say that when I go to play it too, so get ready for it. So there's my entry. It was number 27, I think it was 27 out of 38 cars. All great cars. You can tell people took their time. I mean, just some great minds out there with what they did. Because we had Subarus, we had one gasoline build, we had cars. I mean, just all, it ran the gamut. So there's what I seen in it. It was a quarter mile coupe. I think it turned out pretty good. I really liked how it looked. I was hoping to win it back, but the way I look at it is, we donated those cars to Jay. What Jay did was race them. It was up to us to win them back, right? Luck and the roll of the dice, you know. You'll see exactly how everything went down, but it was up to us to get it back with the luck of the dice, the roll, and all that stuff, you know. So, but once your cars got there, what he did was he lined them up in the order that they came. He had a big old poster board, and Jay wanted to keep everything as mixed up and as fair as it could be. So what he did was, he took your car, mine, like I said, I think it was number 27. He had this little bingo thing with all the little balls in it. You spin it, and when you open it up, it'll drop one ball out at a time. So what he did was, he had 1 through 38, rolled it, When the number come out, he matched the number with the car, right? Marked it down on the poster board, and here's where mine came out.
I'll explain what's gonna happen, guys. We got the whole field stacked over here, right? 1 through 38 is ready to go. These are in the order that they came in. 1 through 10, 11 through 20, so on and so on, right? 1 through 38. That's the numbers that we're gonna start with. I have a bingo machine here. I picked it up for $4 or $3 or $4 at the thrift store, right? There's 38 numbers in here. 38 numbers will shake it up real good, right? Full custom in the house. What's up, brother? So this is going to redetermine 1 through 38. That's going to be your starting number, right? All the numbers are going to go back in the hat, and we're going to pull them out 5 at a time for the heat race breakdown, right? 8 heat races. The first 6 are going to be 5 cars. The last 2 are going to be 4 cars. Top 3 transfer into the bracket. Number 27, 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Old Man Diecast. Old Man Diecast is number 9.
Now with that done, to even mix it up, keep it more fair and jumble it up some more, he divided everything into heats. So what he would do was he'd sit there, he'd say that this is going to be heat 1, spin it for pole position, whatever number dropped out, that's what heat you was in, and if it was for pole position, that was where you was assigned. So he'd go from like heat 1, heat 2, heat 3, heat 4, heat 5, heat 6, and he would do it until all the cars were spoken for. So I started off as 27, but when he rolled it, this is where I came out.
All right, so number 9 is going to be on the pole for heat 4, and that's Old Man Diecast. Old Man Diecast is going to take the pole for heat 4.
So I know this is a bit confusing, but he was trying to keep it as fair as he could. And there's one more thing that you had to do. Well, just because your car is there, just because he rolled the dice, the little wheel, and pulled your number, does not mean that's where you're going to race for pinks. No, there's a qualifying race too. So what he did was he set up a oval track, had everything marked out, and had a tray in the middle, rolled the dice, and the dice determined your starting spot on the bracket. You know how you have the NCAA brackets and everything? You know, you got just say 10 cars here, 10 cars there. Have 5 races of 2 cars where the winner of each one of those moves over, and then it breaks down, you know, so until you have 2 cars racing at the end. That's the bracket race. So what you did was he drew from your position, gave you a starting number, then used that starting number to draw for the heat race for the circle track. And here's how the circle track race of mine went down. Again, this is chase footage, and everybody that was in this particular circle track race with me, this heat, all the descriptions will be below. I'll try to remember to put it in qualifying race and then have all the channels, and then I'll try to put it in each bracket race where I raced. Each channel will be in there too. But anyhow, here's the qualifying race with my channel and the other cars.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Heat number 4 is about to enter the chute, and let me tell you something. There are some beautiful cars in this heat. On the pole, you got Old Man Diecast, Pete Old Man Diecast. On the outside pole, full custom Diecast garage in its awesome S10 Blazer. Diecast Chasers starting 3rd. Diecast Pirate starting 4th. And CJD 555 in this awesome Chevelle rounding out the field. All right. I can't play favorites. I can't play favorites for anybody. there's so many nice looking cars on the track right now. Good luck to everybody who entered this competition. We are about to roll off for heat number 4 here at the JDC Raceway in the JDC compound. Let's go. Let's go. The front row takes off. The front row takes off. Pete ends up in turn 1, sends it in on the inside line, and Full Custom Diecast Garage full sends this thing out to the outside. He is up into turn 2. Up into turn 2, so that's red and purple. We're going to take those out of play. And Diecast Pirate follows him up there. Brings it up to the outside of Old Man Diecast. And look at this. Diecast Chasers is on it too. She waits for Diecast Pirate to make his move and fires it out to the outside groove. And CJD555 looks like he spun the tires out of the gate, and I hope that it comes back around for him. I really do. That is a beautiful looking car, and let's see how this goes. We're gonna go from the front first. Full Custom Diecast comes out of turn 2, sends it up towards the wall, and Pete ends up hugging that inside line. Diecast Pirate is right there with him. He holds him down low, and it looks like Diecast Chasers sending it all the way out, keeps her momentum, and starts to make a run for the lead. CJD gets his momentum back and sends it up into turn 1 and says, "Don't count me out too early." We got a tight pack here, guys. You could throw a tarp over these 5 cars right now. And it looks like Diecast Chasers might have had some contact with Full Custom Diecast, because they both slow up. Up towards the wall here. We're just going to sneak that in there. They're both in the same spot. And it looks like that is going to hurt both of those cars. We're going to take those out. It's going to hurt both of those cars. Old Man Diecast comes down the front stretch, sends it into turn 3, and hugs that inside line with that quarter-mile coupe. And both of these cars are going to go 4. So Diecast Pirate gets a run, and CJD brings it up to the back bumper of these other cars that have been in contact with each other up towards the wall. We got 3 6s, a 1 and a 2. So purple, Old Man Diecast, has a nice comfortable lead, but I don't think it's going to last very long. Diecast Chasers goes 1. She's still having an issue from having contact with Full Custom Diecast Garage. So those 2 are out, and the rest of these cars go 6. Diecast Pirate has a full head of steam. He comes all the way around the corner, squares up on the front stretch, looking at lap 2 right now. And it looks like Full Custom Diecast in that Blazer hammers down, squeezing through between Diecast Chasers, and just hammers off the wall. He don't even care about the paint right now. And he said it glows in the dark, so he don't need no headlights either. And CJD is catching a good run too. He squares up with Old Man Diecast, and he challenges for that 3rd position. And Diecast Chasers is having an issue right now. Having a huge issue. She might have cut a tire with contact from Full Custom Diecast. We're going to find out here in a minute if she can gather it up or not. Diecast Pirate crosses the line for his second lap. I'm sorry. The purple is 5. Full Custom Diecast is red. He's going to go 2 spots. So he's right at the start-finish line, right? Old Man Diecast is going to go 5. He's going to tuck right up behind Diecast Pirate in this quarter-mile coupe. And CJD goes 3, so he squares up against
Full Custom Diecast Garage, rocking that U.S. Air Force livery. Oh, man down. Rocking that Air Force livery, and he yells out the window, "You better not scratch my paint." You better not scratch my paint. So Diecast Pirate is gonna go 3 spots here. 3 spots up into turn 2, right? Old Man Diecast comes around on the outside. He ends up moving away from the bottom line just to get around Diecast Pirate. Diecast Chasers is having an issue still. I don't know what's going on with that car. I do not know. And CJD gets a little out of the groove as Full Custom Diecast Garage flexes his muscles on him, and he acted like he was gonna try to put a dent in his car. So CJD had to swerve a little bit. He don't want to scratch the paint. He don't want to scratch the paint. He don't want to scratch the paint, guys. When it comes race day, for real, I'm sure he got no problem scratching the paint, right? Diecast Chasers is having detrimental engine failure right now. She's still on the first lap. The rest of these guys are coming around to take the checkered flag, and it looks like Old Man Diecast is on a mission. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's on a mission. He flies down the backstretch. Diecast Pirate is spinning the tires up there, and it's gonna leave the door open for these guys. He needs to get it together. Because Full Custom Diecast Garage is flying around on the outside. He knows that the clock is ticking. And this is the final lap of Heat 4, and he needs to make a run. Even though this is a battle for 3, every spot counts. Every single spot counts, and he wants to make it known. Diecast Chasers rolls another 1, and she is basically just coasting at this point. I don't know what's going on with this Drift Mustang, but they need to do some tuning for the LCQ, because this ain't gonna cut it. This is not gonna cut it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Old Man Diecast is exiting out of turn 4, about to take the checkered flag, and we're gonna find out who else is gonna transfer in right here. 1, 2, 3. Well, hold on. Yellow goes 4, red goes 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. We got a run, guys. We got a huge run here, and CJD is not far behind. He is not out of this race, guys. The top 3 transfer to the bracket. We're gonna find out who really wants it. Old Man Diecast just put our first car a lap down. And that's the first time that's happened here today, guys. So Old Man Diecast goes 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He crosses the finish line, but we're gonna hold him out there just to see if anybody might make a miraculous run. I don't think it's gonna happen, but we shall see. 6. So Diecast Chasers gets the car running again, and ends up squaring up with Old Man Diecast, but she is a lap down. She is still on the first lap. And where are we gonna go? White goes 2, which is CJD 555. Chris's Junkyard Designs. Okay, we got a race here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Diecast Pirate goes 5. Full Custom Diecast goes 6. We got a race to the finish line. They are squared up right now, and 2 spots to go. This is for second and third right now. Old Man Diecast is going to take the win. Old Man Diecast takes the win. Let me write that down.
So the outcome of those races puts you on the bracket. It gave you your starting position on the bracket, and I ended up winning my qualifying race, so it gave me a great starting spot on the bracket, and it put me in a really cool group of cars. And yeah, it was on to the actual bracket racing then. So I'm not going to show you the other races. I'm not going to show you the whole thing, because that would just be replaying JDC's whole race, and that's not what we're here for. We're here for my race. So here's race number 1. I went up against CJD 555, and here's how it went down.
But here right now, at the line, in the left lane, you got Old Man Diecast in that quarter-mile coupe. In the right lane, in the 1970 Chevy Chevelle, CJD, Chris's Junkyard Designs. Let's see. Best 2 out of 3 for Pink Slips. Best 2 out of 3 for Pink Slips here on race day. And they come out hot. Chris's Junkyard Designs comes out to a small lead over Old Man Diecast. And he starts to extend it. This Chevelle is hooked up. He made his adjustments from the heat races, and he's got this thing dialed. He pulls out to a 2-car length lead over Old Man Diecast. And look at this, guys. He starts to extend. He extends the lead to 4. He is closing in on the 3/4 mark, and Old Man Diecast is having engine issues. He's having engine issues in this hot rod back here. And CJD pulls it out to 5 car lengths. And oh my goodness gracious, this is a blowout. CJD pulls up to the line, locks out Old Man Diecast, and he's going to take race 1. Even though Pete gets it together, CJD is going to take race 1. We're going to switch lanes here. We are going to switch lanes. And we're gonna go heads up again. CJD in the left lane, Old Man Diecast in the right lane. Red is right, purple is left. Old Man Diecast gets the bugs worked out in this car and comes out to a hot lead. Over CJD, but not for long. Chris pulls back up to the door of that quarter-mile coupe and squares up at the quarter mark. That Chevelle is up 1 race to nothing. Old Man Diecast has to make it happen right now. He pulls back out to the race lead, and look at this. The right lane starts to stretch. On that Chevelle, takes a 2-car length lead, and he starts to extend it. The right lane is hooking up today, guys. Holy moly. He pulls out to a 4-car length lead, and he keeps it rolling. And what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The biggest lead we've seen today. Old Man Diecast has got it figured out. He's got it figured out in his quarter-mile coupe. And CJD is becoming a victim here. But we're going to see if he can get it done in race 3 as Old Man Diecast pushes sudden death. With Chris's Junkyard Designs. And this is going to be all or nothing here, guys. The feature event is on. This is race number 3 from the bracket. Old Man Diecast, Chris's Junkyard Designs, 1-1. This is sudden death right now. They both have 1 win. This is going to be all or nothing for Pink Slips. Old Man Diecast has got the bugs figured out. He says, I want this Chevelle in my collection, and let's see if he can take it. They both roll 3 spots. Chris's Junkyard Designs, CJD5555 on Instagram, is in tow of this quarter-mile coupe, but Old Man Diecast is stretching his wings, boy. He pulls out to a 2-car length lead. And he stretches it to 3. Over Chris's Junkyard Designs. Oh my goodness gracious. And that Chevelle is going down. Can he come back? He stretches it to 4. I think the Chevelle might be out of time. Yep, Old Man Diecast gets to the line. Chris rolls a 3 spot, but it's going to be too late. And Old Man Diecast, Pete from Old Man Diecast, is going to take the win, pushing sudden death and claiming this beautiful, beautiful Chevelle for his collection. And taking the next spot in the bracket for round 2, Old Man Diecast is going to square off against either Honest Diecast or Diecast Pirate.
I won that one. Can you believe it? That was an exciting race. Man, that's a beautiful car and everything. Well, by me winning that race, I ended up winning that Chevelle. And man, I'm so glad to have that. when I saw that when he submitted that and everything, I saw, because Jay, whenever a car would come in, he'd actually do a little short video saying, you know, here's their entry, you know, and all that stuff. And I was like, wow, that's a very cool car. And with that stated, I had another one that I had to do. Next up, I had to go against Diecast Pirate, who made the Rubber Duck. The Rubber Duck, if you don't know, is a Mike Finnegan car of Hot Rod TV, Hot Rod Magazine fame, and then he's on road. He's got his own show, Roadkill, and you know, it's just a really cool car. And Diecast Pirate made a custom copy of it. So here's how that race went down. Again, everybody's channels will be in the description below.
Next up, we got two beautiful cars. Two beautiful cars. In the left lane, Old Man Diecast in that quarter-mile coupe. In the right lane, Diecast Pirate in the Rubber Duck. The Rubber Duck he borrowed from Finnegan, and he might be able to get it back in time as long as he doesn't lose the ride. If he loses the ride, he's blaming Jim Silva. He said it already. He said it already. Old Man Diecast versus Diecast Pirate. This is going to be a good one, guys. This is going to be a good one. Diecast Pirate spins the tires out of the gate. Old Man Diecast hooks up. He comes up to a 1 car length lead over Diecast Pirate. And look at this. Old Man Diecast stretches his legs. He stretches his legs. He pulls out to a 3 car length lead right out of the gate. What is going on here? Diecast Pirate in the Rubber Duck better get it together, and he starts to close. He pulls it down to 2 car lengths. 2 car lengths. 2 car lengths, but Pete's going to extend it back to 3. Pete goes over the halfway mark. Old Man Diecast goes over the halfway mark, and it looks like Diecast Pirate starts to close. He pulls it down to 2 car lengths. Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy, do we have a race on our hands, and Old Man Diecast is not playing games today. He said, I'm coming to take the whole kit and caboodle, and Diecast Pirate is just another one in my way. And look at this, guys. Oh my goodness gracious. Old Man Diecast is on a heater. He gets to the line, locking out Diecast Pirate. I'll roll him, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Old Man Diecast takes race 1. Old Man Diecast takes race 1 in his attempt to take it all. They don't call it a quarter-mile coupe for nothing. That's right, Jimmy. That's right. But I know this Finnegan car has got some power in it, and Diecast Pirate has came for business. He did not come to play. Let's see if he can get it done. Let's see if he can get it done. They both spin the tires out of the gate this time. They both spin the tires out of the gate. Can Diecast Pirate make it happen? They're still spinning the tires, guys. They are still spinning the tires. They are heads up here. Heads up, and look at this. Diecast Pirate hooks up and comes out to a 1 car length lead. Puts a gap between him and Old Man Diecast. Puts a gap between him and Old Man Diecast, and it happens again. He extends his lead to 2 car lengths. He is not trying to go home. He is not trying to go home, and look at this, guys. That left lane curse has turned around because Diecast Pirate is gapping Old Man Diecast the same way he just did to himself. The same way Old Man Diecast gapped Diecast Pirate. The tables have turned, boy. The tables have turned, and let's see if Diecast Pirate can finish it off. Pete closes the gap to 3. Closes the gap to 3 here. And he's going to close it to 2. Diecast Pirate is running out of steam in that left lane. He needs to make something happen quick. He needs to make something happen quick. Old Man Diecast pulls up to the bumper. Diecast Pirate chucks the deuces out the window, locking out Old Man Diecast, taking race 2. Taking race 2, forcing sudden death. Another race goes to sudden death for Pink Slips, guys. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Sudden death again. Old Man Diecast versus Diecast Pirate. Somebody's going to add a beautiful car to their garage right now. We're going to get it. We are going to get it, and they both want to put on a show. They rock it out of the gate. Both cars hook up. Both cars hook up. They go 1, 2, 3. One of them bounces off the sides, but it lands inside, so it's going to count. Pete comes out to a short lead over the Pirate. And they go 6. They go 3 lengths. They go 3 lengths. Here we go, boys. 1, 2, 3. Yup. Diecast Pirate is in tow, but still in striking distance. And they are running nose to tail, bumper to bumper right now. And look at this. This is a race. Diecast Pirate is in tow of Pete from Old Man Diecast, but it's not over. It is not over. Diecast Pirate drops the hammer. He comes around the right side, takes the race lead, just approaching the 3/4 mark. Can we get it done? Can Diecast Pirate get it done? Old Man Diecast has other plans. He drops the hammer, grabs a high gear, comes around the left side. Who's it gonna be? Who is it gonna be? Diecast Pirate ends up at the line. Old Man Diecast in tow. Let's see how this pans out, guys. Let's see how this pans out. Sudden death. Sudden death. The right lane goes over. Diecast Pirate. Old Man Diecast puts it in the high gear, gives it all the nods left in this thing. He goes 1, 2, 3, and he crosses the line, passing Diecast Pirate and adding that custom to his garage. Boy, oh boy.
Doing pretty good so far, isn't we? I've done one the CJD Chevelle. Now I've done one the Diecast Pirate Mike Finnegan Rubber Duck. Next up is a buddy of mine, actually. He lives up in West Virginia, and I was hoping we'd draw a little later because that would give us double chance to go against a car that we both wanted to take out. Not because we don't like the guy or anything, just between Gary and this particular vehicle, there was a lot of smack talking. You know how it is whenever you're having fun, and you're like, oh, look at that, man, the tires look a little wore on that, it's not going to grip good, or whatever, But anyhow, Gary Shorter and I lined up, because that's just the way the dice fell. That's the way the little balls rolled out in the little machine. That's the way the races went down. That's the way the brackets went down. So we found out we was going to be going up against each other a little sooner than we really wanted to. Gary was like, couldn't think of anybody better to win my car. And I'm like, dude, it ain't over yet. You got just as good as a chance as I do or anybody else. But it was like, he was like, well, just the way things are going, I just don't know, or whatever, I don't want to say he was giving up, but it was like he hated to win my car, and at the same token, I was the same way. I hated to win his car because we wanted to go further, both of us, and then meet up later. But we ran, and here's how that race went down.
Absolutely. Round 3's kicking off. In the left lane, we got Gary Shorter from Shorter's Diecast in that Budweiser number 1169 GTO. In the right lane, the 1/4 mile coupe of Old Man Diecast. He's been on a heater. He's been gapping people all weekend long. Who is it gonna be? Round 3's kicking off. They both spin the tires. They both spin the tires out of the gate. They both spin the tires out of the gate. Who's going to advance to the semifinals? We're going to find out right now. We are going to find out right now, folks, here live, in effect, at the JDC compound, here on Pink's Day, and Gary Shorter starts to pull a gap. He comes out front of that 1/4 mile coupe of Old Man Diecast, and they're pacing each other. They both get out of the groove. Gary might have dropped some beer out the back and made him slip the tires, but we're going to find out what happens here, because Pete drops the hammer. He comes back up to the back corner panel of that GTO in that 1/4 mile coupe. What a beautiful car. A beautiful car. But Gary Shorter pulls back out. to a 1 car length lead. Pulls back out to a 1 car length lead just past the halfway mark. We're pulling in on the 3/4 mark here for race 1 in round 3. And they both get out of the groove again. Old man Diecast is sitting in waiting for the proper time to pounce, but he might have waited too long. Gary Shorter is going to lock out Old Man Diecast in race 1 and take race 1. Old Man Diecast, even though he makes a run, Gary crosses the line. Old Man Diecast is going to have to make it happen. He's going to have to win back-to-back here and push Sudden Death to make it in to the semifinals in that 1/4 mile coupe. Old Man Diecast, Gary Shorter. Gary Shorter's up by 1 here. And I need some more water. Here we go. Firing out of the gate. Old Man Diecast knows it. The pressure is on. He comes out to a short lead. And they both end up spinning the tires. I guess they was both spinning the tires out of the gate, but Pete hooked up a little bit more. Gary comes up past the 1/4, but Pete starts to pull. He pulls a 1 car length gap on that 69 GTO. And look at this, guys. Pete drops the hammer. He's at the halfway mark. He pulls a 2 car length gap. He knows he has to win. Or he's going back to North Carolina without his own ride. He's got a few beautiful rides in his garage already, but he's trying to take it all. He's going to have to win this one, push Sudden Death, and go all the way. And we're going to find out here. Gary starts to make a run. He closes the gap down to 1. We're at the 3/4 mark, and Gary Shorter is in striking distance, but not for long. Pete does the same thing Gary just did. Gets to the line, locks him out, and takes race 2. We are going to Sudden Death, folks. Get your snacks, get your coffee, get your adult beverage, whatever you do. Sit back, relax, have a great time. Okay, as long as you guys are entertained, we're going heads up here. We are going heads up for Pinks. Gary Shorter comes out to the race lead in race 3. They are 1-1 right now. They are 1-1, and Pete is slipping the tires. Old Man Diecast is getting out of the groove in that 1/4 mile coupe. Gary Shorter brings it out to the lead. And he starts to pull. He pulls a 2 car length gap. Over that 1/4 mile coupe. And here we go, guys. They're both up to speed. Just past halfway. 1-1. This is for Pink Slips. This is to get into the semifinals. Who is it gonna be? Pete is trailing Gary right now. He's at the 3/4 mark. Can he put the nail in the coffin? Gary starts to slip. Pete drops the hammer, puts it in a high gear, pulls up to the back bumper of that GTO just in time for Gary to take off. He takes off. He gets to the line. He locks out Old Man Diecast. There is no possible way for Pete to come back, even though he makes a run up to the door. Gary chucks the deuces, crosses the line, and claims the Pink Slips on this beautiful, beautiful car.
There you go. Yeah, that's just how my weekend went. It seemed like I had to race from behind every single race, but that's okay. That's, you know, the car's a 1/4 mile coupe, lots of power, big engine, and sometimes it would hook good, sometimes it wouldn't. I mean, that joker had 4 kits of nitrous on it. Sometimes one of the kits might have fire, or like in the race where I had to get set up to race Gary, you know, all that nitrous and everything was fouling out my plugs and everything. So I had to scramble in the pits to try to get some work done and everything. And alas, it just wasn't enough at the end. Gary Shorter ended up beating me and taking my car. That's all right. You know, that was the point. Like I said, we had to win them back. We donated them to the channel, and JDC's regifting them to whoever wins them. And that was the point of the whole thing, just to have fun, take a bunch of customs, put them together, scramble them up, and redonate them out. You know that. But sadly, I lost. I was hoping to win the whole thing, you know, because like I said, there's only one first, and that's just the way it went down. Now, you need to go and watch JDC's videos. And the reason I say that is because I'm not going to tell you who won the overall thing. I will tell you who was in it. Gary, the guy that beat me and won my car, was in it. Against the person that was talking a lot of smack to him. They were talking back and forth, you know. I'm not going to tell you the comments. There wasn't nothing rude or mean or anything like that, but I want you to see it. I want you to hear it. And because he's got the chat enabled and everything, you can see all the chat and the comments back and forth and whatnot. But anyhow, with that stated, that's how it went down for me. That was my experience. It was a wonderful experience. I enjoyed it. We're trying to talk Jay into doing it every Super Bowl Sunday, because that's when the final was. It was on Super Bowl Sunday. It happened right before the Super Bowl. So we're trying to talk him in. It's going to be an annual event, he says. So that's why I'm telling you to get your cars ready. Be plotting out and figuring what you want to do. And we're trying to talk him into a set date like Super Bowl Sunday. And yeah, I'm actually thinking about what I want to do. I've got a few ideas, and here it is, just February. And I've already got a few ideas that I really pondering that I want to send in. I may build a few cars for me as the car I want to send in, and I might just pick one at the end, you know, I don't know. But with that stated, I'm going to get off here. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. Get your car ready. Get it into Jay, and you can send it in next week if you want to, and you just hold on to it till the next Pink Slip Invitational. With that stated, I'm going to get off here. Jay, thank you for a wonderful experience. Thank you for a happy experience and memory. Thank you for all the work you put into it. I know it was a lot, because you had to figure out how you wanted to do this to keep it fair. And I know you're thinking about a few changes for next year. Maybe a figure 8. Or a demolition derby, who knows? Like Amanda was saying in the chat, a demolition derby. You know, with all that stated, I know it was a lot of work. You put on a great show. You're a natural at the commentating thing and whatnot. And I would like to say thank you to all the other builders that participated. Because, you know, yes, without Jay, this wouldn't have happened. We wouldn't have had the platform. But without all you guys, or as Jay says, yous guys, none of it would have been possible either. You know, there's 37 other people who built a car and sent it in. All very talented people, and you know, without all of you, it wouldn't have been what it was. And without Jay giving us the platform and doing all the work that he did, none of that would be possible either. So warm, heartfelt thank you to all of you, and again, thank you, Jay, and thank you, Amanda, for letting him have the time to do it, because I know you got a lot going on. Till next time, get your car ready, and we'll see you in the Invitational. Be ready, because I'm coming for everybody next year. Take care. Thanks for watching.